Good morning and congratulations, guys. You've reached a very, very important milestone in your very young lives. And some will tell you, and some of the kids have told you, that you're now moving on to what may be defined as the best 4 years of your lives. Now, there's some evidence of that. There's freedom, Mr. Johnson talked about. No more jugs. Don't have to worry about your shirt tails being tucked in. Don't have to worry about Mr. Mancini. Then there are co-eds. Then there are parties. I did mention co-eds, right? But as Coach Corso would say, with his little pencil, not so fast. Some of us would look back and say, these were the best 4 years of your lives. I'm not so sure I agree with that. You're a little too young to say these are the best 4 years of your lives. But they were the most carefree. And I think Mr. Johnson's speech and some of the kids, what they were talking about, the decisions that you're going to have to make. You've already made one major decision, and you're all wearing your shirts. But now, boys, every decision you make, or every decision you don't make, or you procrastinate, is going to have a major impact on what happens to you in 4 years. In 1965, I was in your shoes. I know, I'm old. I get it. And I made a decision to go to Fairfield U. And in 1969, 1969, I graduated from Fairfield U. Knowing, when I went into Fairfield U, I knew exactly what I wanted to do. And I came out of Fairfield U, and I signed my first teacher's contract for $6,700. That's not a month. That was for the year. And I was thrilled. Thrilled. 47 years later, I stand in front of you, and I don't have one regret. I did what I wanted to do. And I'll be honest, it was my dream. Maybe not accepted by everybody. I once had a good friend, I think he was a good friend, after I had been teaching for about 10 years, who called me up and said, we have to go out for breakfast. I said, okay. So I go out for breakfast with him, and he says, you know, it's time for you to grow up. Oh? You got to stop this playing around, coaching these kids, and you got to start making some money. I make money. No, big money. You got too much potential. Okay. It's a very uneasy breakfast, to say the least. Needless to say, I didn't take that advice too much, and I just kept doing what I was doing. And after, I don't know, 20 years or so, then there was the opportunity to go into administration, which I said I would never do. No offense. But I did. And that was the year that they said to me, maybe you should be the acting superintendent. I'm not very good with politics. But I took the chance. And thankfully, they asked me to do it for a year. And I hung on for a year, believe me. The strangest part about that, boys, I never saw a kid. Superintendent of schools, I shouldn't say that. I used to always go to the first grades on Friday afternoons and play with little kids. That was the extent of my seeing the kids. Some very, very smart men, Robert Frost being one, and many, many others have said, make your avocation your vocation, and you never work a day in your life. I think I did that. I don't quite agree with the second half of that statement, by the way, because there were some bad days, as some of you might know. There were some bad days. But ups and downs, as with any career. But if you do what you really love to do, it's a tremendous help, boys. It's not like, you know, a death call every time that alarm goes off in the morning. You go and you do what you want to do, what you love to do. And I think that's one of the most important things you can take going into college. Use it to find out what you really want to do. You know, AJ talked about digging in the sand and all that stuff. Great. Great. He was really making little castings. I know what AJ. There was an opportunity to coach in college. You know, and that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to be with kids your age and train them to go to be players in college. That's what they wanted to do. So, as you get ready to go into college, I want you, number one, to find out what you really want to do. Number two, follow that dream. And number three, I want you to keep a character from literature in mind, and that is George Gray. Now, George Gray is a character from the Spoon River Anthology. He's dead. But he speaks to you from the grave. And here's what George Gray has to say, and I'm going to read this to you. I have studied many times the marvel which was chiseled for me, a boat with a furled sail at rest in the harbor. In truth, it pictures not my destination, but my life. For love was offered to me, and I shrank from its disillusionment. Sorrow knocked at my door, but I was afraid. Ambition called to me, but I dreaded the chances. Yet all the while I hungered for the meaning in my life. And now I know that we must lift the sail and catch the winds of destiny, wherever they may drive the boat. To put meaning in one's life may end in madness, but life without meaning is the torture of restlessness and vague desire. It is a boat longing for the sea and yet afraid. So boys, don't be afraid. Don't ever be afraid. Follow your dreams. Good luck. God bless.